Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Emily Finn. It is time now to stay awake, not woke. And in the cup today, NATO's latest mission, which is banning words. NATO has now banned the word airman. They want it replaced with Air Force personnel. Also out, servicemen, guardsmen, even the phrase, my guys. The new terms that are acceptable to replace them with are service member, guard, and team. Even the phrase manning, you now have to say staffing instead. Critics call it a farce, saying NATO should be focused on Russia, not on pronouns. Let's bring in Dr. Gina, David, and Terrence for discussion here. Terrence, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, man. Oh, I guess I'm already off kilter because I just said that, right? I can't say, oh, man. I guess have to say, oh, people. Or, oh,
team. That's crazy.
Yeah, oh, team. Like, really? Don't we have bigger fish to fry? That's coming from the fat guy, so yeah, I'm bringing in fried fish. But, aren't there bigger issues that we need to be addressing rather than, trying to be so sensitive and keep everybody's feelings in mind? I'm over it. I'm so over it. I couldn't care less about whether it's manning or staffing. Let's deal with the real issues and keep people safe and make sure that our soldiers and our service members have all the support they need in terms of both equipment as well as in terms of medical care and that kind of stuff moving forward. I couldn't care less about the words.
Let me just understand what you're saying in all seriousness. So you're saying you don't care about the issue, or you think it's, I understand you think it's stupid that they're doing this, but I think this issue is actually very important. Are you saying the issue is not important? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think the issue is important. I think that the government and that these other agencies are making something out of nothing. I'd prefer the focus be on, again, the equipment that our service members are dealing with and making sure that they've got what they need. I think the focus should be more on making sure that any soldier have the medical resources that they need, they have that sort of support. The other stuff to me is a sideshow for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I suspect you disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, I don't think it's a sideshow. I think it's done on purpose, and they're trying to change the culture and trying to change, in essence, kind of the world, if you will, because the language matters and actions matter. And, in 2022 to 2024, NATO actually said in their documents that they were going to tolerate diversity. That was in 2022. By 2024, they changed the word tolerate, and they said we're going to promote diversity. You see, this is the slide, if you will, or in their view, progress from tolerate to promote. And so it's a very dangerous situation what they're doing. And when you change the language, you change the culture. And I want to be very clear, words do matter. And I think this idea that it's airman or woke, okay, I think it's a whole lot more than that. I think that this is, obviously it's done intentionally, we know that. But seriously, when you start to change the words, then that has power, Dr. G. And yeah. I think you got to be very, very careful here.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think we just take it back, I use the word master bedroom. I still like the idea of a master bedroom.
So do I.
I don't need a primary bedroom. I still say, thank God for the men who died. I sing that proudly when I sing along with my buddy Lee Greenwood when he sings God Bless the USA. We won't forget the men who died. We know that women died too, but look, it was mostly men, and it was certainly all men at the beginning of our country, at the foundation of our country. And look, I love my role as a woman. There is no other, no matter how much them it to death, there is no other role in the world that gets to be a conduit by which God himself sends life itself. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm proud of my role as a woman, and you can call me a woman all day long. And you know what else you could do, David Brody? You could talk about the biblical role of women and men and how women do have a biblical command, right, to serve their husbands. And what a lovely visual to think about a woman serving a husband and a husband protecting that wife like God himself protects the church. There's just no more beautiful imagery. I will not stand down while they try to destroy that. I think it's perhaps the most critical argument we have.
In my house, my wife often reminds me that, I might be the head of the household, but every head needs a neck, and she's the neck.
Yeah, and just to be clear, serve your husband. Okay, yes, I agree with that. I don't even say the caveat, but God's design is for the husband to love and cherish his wife, and yes, Christ loved the church. The
Yes.
point is that listen, serving your husband sounds. Let me just simply say this:
Why?
Men
We
need to
should
step
serve
up.
everyone.
Men need to
we
step
should serve
up.
everyone.
Yes, but men need to step up. You're not going to serve someone that's not taking on the biblical role of manhood the way God designed it. And that has to be pointed out. It's not just serving man just because he's a man. That's not it at all. Not that that's what you're saying, but I'm just saying that it has to be from a biblical point of view. And if it's not, then it's not going to work because that's
No,
not
I
God's
agree.
design.
I agree. Marriages and the sacrifice on the part of the husband, from a biblical perspective, is much heavier than the sacrifice on women. And look, we as Christians are called to serve our fellow man and women and everyone around us, our children and everyone. And that's regardless sometimes of how well they're serving us, but certainly in a marriage for it to work. You're right, David. That overarching, that umbrella part of it that says the man has to cherish and honor her and protect her like Christ does the church. That's the most important part. There's no doubt. But these roles are critical, and these words are critical. I agree with you.
Well, as always.
Emily, how did we get to that?
I was going to say,
we went from Airman to Christ-loving.
Yes. Well, great discussion, you guys. Gina, I know you're not a guy, but we don't use those kind of terms around here. All right, coming up, Erica Kirk takes the reins at Turning Point. How she's turning tragedy into a revival and a rebirth for Charlie's legacy. We'll be right back with more on American Sunrise.